So when you first start making Synth in Reason, you can firstly you create a combinator, which I've already done here. We've already got one set up, and what we do is we've got a selection between 3 different synthesizers. We've got the subtractor, which looks like that. We've got the Thor synthesizer, which looks like this, and we've also got the Maelstrom grainable synthesizer, which looks like that. So I'll be using the Thor synthesizer since I'm most familiar with it. The subtractor is probably the easiest for beginners and people like that. So when you first start out with the synthesizer, you want to initialize it, and also select Show Programmer, so you're not stuck with this. You actually open up the whole like settings and menus and stuff for the oscillators and all the filters. So firstly, this is the sound it produces when you first initialize it. It's just like that. Okay, so first of all, I think we'll put that into a square wave. Take it down a few octaves maybe. Okay, we'll add in another oscillator, so oscillator number 2, and we'll activate that to go through the first filter. And make sure you do select that number 2, otherwise you can't hear it. It'll just carry on sounding like that. So we select that. What we can do, we can sync the oscillator 1 to number 2 with the waveforms, so they're all synced up with the waveforms, and that sounds like that. And without it, it sounds like this. And we'll go in and select another analog oscillator and activate that too, and we'll also turn up the frequency on the low pass filter number 1, so it sounds like this. And we'll take the third oscillator down 2 octaves, so we've got a nice crunchy kind of synth. We'll add in a chorus, but not too much, so it kind of gives it a nice stereo effect. And we'll take this drive up a little bit. Yeah. We'll add in some delay. We'll tempo sync that. But yeah. Take that to 2/16 of a bar. So it's got a nice slightly reverb echo effect to it, but there's not too much there. We'll take the dry wetness down a little bit. Just about there, yeah. I've also need to mention that I'll be using a pre-made drum track for this, so just to hurry along, to make it sound better and not just a plain synth when I'm trying to show everyone this. So this is what the drum track sounds like. So yeah, that's what the drum track sounds like for the intro. And also I'll be using a pre-made MIDI track for the synth, so I don't have to go ahead and make another one. So this is simply just 3 notes kind of stabbing, but not, yeah, but it sounds like this. Yes, it just sounds like that. So yeah, that's what the synth sounds like at the moment with those notes. We'll go in and add a comb filter, which adds like a comb-shaped EQ filter effect to the whole frequency range. Take the drive up on that. You can select between feed forward and feed back on the comb filter. Take the resonance up a little bit so it adds it a bit kind of adds a bit of a wet sound to it. Yeah, that's what it sounds like at the moment. Thing we can also add is a LFO, which to the main amp volume. We have all the settings for the LFO2 here, but what you have to do is press tab on either Mac or PC, and you can wire from LFO2, which is just here, into amp level modulation input, and we can keep the level there at 64, and that it'll sound like this. I've also turned the sustain up too as well, so you can hear it better. So we can choose between different waveforms. We've got a sine, we've got a triangle, square wave, and also this half triangle type thing. And what's cool with this, you can make it sound like a sidechained synth. So you've sidechained it to the bass drum with a compressor, and it sounds like this. So you can do stuff like this. It's like kind of like a dead mouse type synth, and but we won't use that for now. We'll turn that off. That's just a cool little feature you can do. So with it off, it just sounds like this. So we'll see what it sounds like with the whole track. Solo off the drums here and the synth. Sounds like this. I think we'll take this down to add some release as well. Maybe no attack. So it sounds like that. It sounds pretty cool. And what I think I want to add is also a filter. So an envelope controlled filter. So it'll sound like this. And we can right click and add some automation to this. I've already got an automation set I can use here. So we'll just drag that up to there. And double this up here. And it'll sound like this. So it just kind of builds it up into the main synth, but the drum track stays completely fully open with a frequency band, so there's no filter on the drums. And then it builds up quickly here. So that's just a very simple synth. It's like a nice cool rhythm synth to it. It's quite nice. Add in some other stuff, like this violin here. So we'll take that back to there again. We can add in a bunch of stuff, like, say, obviously this violin, which I just showed you. Also another synth, so it's more of a bass synth. So it sounds like this. Adds a slight low end to it. The bass sounds like this. So if we turn that up, actually, sounds like that. That's just another synth that I've also created. And that's how you make a synth in Reason.